branch overhaul is a functional overhaul, and in only 2 cases a visual overhaul. So we've put in end-to-end image capture, signature capture, and so on and so forth, and I believe it's imperative for 2 reasons. One is security, and every member that utilizes every channel should feel safe in utilizing that channel. And the other was to protect the credit union, frankly, from fraud. So getting Check 21 deployed, end-to-end image capture, e-signature, and so on and so forth made the branches repositioned to where it wasn't a lot of time and effort spent on check holes and the transactional elements, but more consultative. Now, we've only launched 2 new branches thus far. One is at 2200 Pennsylvania Avenue, just 6 blocks from the White House, in this beautiful new high-rise built by Boston Properties, the most prestigious new location on Pennsylvania Avenue, and that represents the repositioning of the organization. So smaller footprint, a very high visibility location, and the latest technologies, and a very comfortable contemporary environment, very consultative. And then our first hospital prototype, it was just opened a few weeks ago at Sibley Hospital, recently purchased by the Johns Hopkins group, and that is our 900-foot hospital prototype, which is, again, extremely attractive, contemporary, consultative. And we've seen a shift. The doctors are comfortable coming in, the administrators are comfortable coming in, and the move away from being located next to the morgue has really been a very positive one, as you would imagine. Well, that's great. I mean, right from the start, the board already had a mindset that they wanted this credit union to be relevant in the future, and they felt that time-starved individuals, such as those that work in research and in healthcare, needed the very best in technology, and they knew it had not as yet been deployed here at the credit union. So we've been playing catch-up, frankly. Many high-tech credit unions had much of this already deployed, although not necessarily as end-to-end as we have facilitated the launch of this. So we are now at and ahead of the industry in much of our technology. Interestingly, we have not as yet changed host systems. And so we've had to build all of this on top of an old host. So you ask, how would you do that? We're already deploying cloud technology. We're using many, many ASPs. So for instance, to bring the latest technology in lending in the mortgage realm, we are using MortgageBot and FICS, 2 platforms that we did not have to purchase any additional hardware, but we are optimizing shared technology usage. So you can say, how can a credit union that's less than $1 billion provide world-class service in the area of mortgages to doctors and people that are highly sought after by the financial institutions? And that is by looking at ASP models. And for our CRM, across all channels, we're getting ready to deploy full cloud technology end-to-end. So consistent touch and answers across all channels will be up and running beginning next year using cloud. No, absolutely, there are several. First of all, the actual costs of running the credit union have been reduced year over year over year. So you look at our overall operating expense and our operating ratios, significantly improved over time. Our only number going in the wrong direction is one that ties back to the old legacy loan portfolio because of the deteriorating performance in a very old real estate portfolio. I'd say the top 3, first of all, is listening, long listen, not a casual listen. Listen deeply and attentively to the marketplace you wish to serve. I think that's number 1. Not just who you are serving, which is extremely important, but who it is that you're not serving that you could be serving. Invest in that. Spend money, spend time at all levels. Get it right. So we started thinking we'd only spend about 6 months in research, and I come from a consumer research background from my old banking days and when I worked for the U.S. Navy. But don't stop until you have a settled answer. So we ended up having to have multiple phases as we went into discovery, and the brand today has 4 different sectors that are, although united in that we can serve them in the biomedical healthcare industry, but they were so distinct as consumer groups that we had to disaggregate them to the point of having to have 4 different sector approaches. The words that, for instance, in working with the doctors, they did not like the utilization of including them in the healthcare industry. They're in the medical industry. Healthcare workers with bedpans, they're in the healthcare industry. So big fun. Even in the words we use, the positioning, people in healthcare that are high-touch individuals, your respiratory therapists, physical therapists, and your nurses, like to have warm, caring images and words that affirm what they're doing. Then you go to my biomedical scientists. And the scientists want lots and lots of facts, lots and lots of data. They want to back test everything, retest everything, whole different psychology in how you approach them. And although some of the products are the same, the way they determine what products they'll use are totally different. Although they may all use the same channels, debit cards for instance, the way you approach them about what's important with a debit card is different. So I say number 1, number 2, and number 3 is research, 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 listen, test, back test.